So now I'm going to talk about 5 horses I've backed for the Cheltenham Festival. Most of them are pretty big prices, fairly speculative. I've played each way in a lot of the races, although you might find on the morning of the races you might get better place terms, but I do think in this instance the prices are worth taking a chance on. So starting off with the Supreme Novice Hurdle, the first race on day one, I think that Edwardstone is very much overpriced at around 20 to 1. He's a hard pulling horse. He really impressed me when he won at Aintree. He beat a horse called Harry Senior, a horse I really like. He didn't settle for the first 3/4 of that race, but he still managed to quicken past that rival who's won again since at Cheltenham, funnily enough. He did get beaten at Haydock in a very muddling race where he pulled too hard and dossed in front and got pegged right on the line by Stolen Silver. And I think that's caused most people to write him off for the Supreme. Horses that get beat, they tend to be dismissed a bit. Oh, well, that's his limitations. He's not good enough for a Grade 1 at Cheltenham. But Edwardstone has not settled in any of his races. He only had a few races. I think in a big field in the Supreme, they go a real mad gallop. He'll settle for the first time and he can come through late. I say he's 20 to 1. I think it's well over the odds and well worth taking. My second bet is in the Champion Hurdle. It's an old favourite. It's a horse most people have dismissed, Ballyandy. He's 33 to 1. I think it's a fair each way price. It's a race that lacks an outstanding contender. I mean, Epatante is likely to be favourite. She's not done a lot wrong. She's been really impressive this season, but in much lower grade races. Her one run at Cheltenham was disappointing, which puts me off her a bit at the prices, though I still respect her claims. Ballyandy, there's nothing new to say about him. He's run in Champion Hurdles before. He's not been good enough. But he always gives his running. He's a strong stayer at 2 miles. He's versatile with regard to ground. I loved the way he won at Haydock last time. He beat a horse called Pentland Hills on the nod in a tight finish. Pentland Hills is about a 6 to 1 chance for the festival. Ballyandy's 33. One of them's exposed, old, run a million times, but there can't be the price disparity. And I think Ballyandy is guaranteed to give his running. Twiston Davis has got his horses running well. He has done for the last 6 months or so. They're all absolutely flying. And I think Ballyandy is sure to give his running. He'll probably finish 6th or 7th. You'll say he ran well, wasn't quite good enough. But if things fell right, very fine margins in the Champion Hurdle, I think he's worth taking a chance on. My third bet is Lisp for the Grand Annual. This is a fiercely competitive 2-mile handicap. On the last day, Lisp is a progressive young chaser who's only had a couple of runs over fences, has run really well each time, had a simple task at Plumpton, and then ran a blinder, I thought, at Doncaster behind a horse called Master Fisher, who's a very strongly fancied for one of the other races during the week. Haven't decided which one yet. But Lisp is well handicapped, open to improvement, and the key in the Grand Annual. It's one of those races, there's lots of them at Cheltenham. They always go off far too fast, get racing for home too soon, and Lisp is a hold-up horse, a sound jumper, and I'm hoping he'll come through late. He's 20 to 1 at the moment, 16 generally. I think there's 20 out there. I think he's the sort of horse could be around about 8 to 1 favourite on the day if he gets there, and I'm happy to take 20 each way. I think he'll run really well. My fourth bet is Protectorat in the Kuril Cup. This is a fiercely competitive handicap, a maximum field size, all of them at the top of their game, rapidly improving handicappers. But Protectorat is trained by Dan Skelton, who's got a brilliant record in Cheltenham handicaps. He's won with Chittibello, Mahayed, superb story in recent years. He lays his horses out for this meeting. Protectorat's got brilliant form with Mac the Man. He's only running a couple of handicaps. He's a strong traveller. He's another one of these horses who doesn't settle particularly well in slowly run races. He's improved for being dropped out in big fields, fast run race. I think if the ground dries out at Cheltenham, which it often does, it often gets to nearly good, that'll suit him as well. He's 14 to 1. It's not massive value. You want at least 14 to 1 in the Kuril Cup to back anything, to be honest with you. But I do think he's got rock solid form. He's been laid out for the race. Again, I can see him starting 7 to 1 favourite. The momentum comes behind these horses. So if you take 14 now, you'll be in a good position on the day. And finally, this one I'm not sure he's going to run in the Albert Bartlett, but hopefully is Harry Senior. We mentioned him earlier. He's 12 to 1 for the Albert Bartlett. I think that's a very fair price. He's got form tied up with the horse we mentioned earlier, Edwardstone, who I'm hoping will win the Supreme. He's a thorough stayer. I loved his win. He's got Cheltenham winning form last time out in January. I've got a thing about Cheltenham. I always think, especially away from the festival, funnily enough, you're better off being out wide. And Harry Senior was parked up the inside on the super glue. He got tapped for pace. He looked a million and he rallied and flew home, and he beat a horse of Harry Fry's called King Roland, who's supposed to be the best novice Harry's got in the yard. I think it's really good form. This Albert Bartlett is over 3 miles. That will definitely suit him. I'm hoping he goes to the race, and I've taken a chance, 12 to 1, that he does.